Hey y'all, welcome back. I got my helper here today. It's just me and Tuck here. Tyler's at work. Knox had a sleepover with the grandparents. So it's just me and my little helper here today. Are you splashing? It's about 10 o'clock in the morning here. I'm coming out to uncover the ranunculus. You see them covered in the background. Those little low tunnels seem to be working well. I'm going to show you all that. Really just wanted to show you what the outdoor garden was looking like, and then we'll probably walk up to the tunnel here in just a minute and I'll kind of give you an update on that. But yeah, we're glad you're back and we're glad you're watching with us, and let's get started. It's about 50 degrees out here. It's about 10 a.m., about 50 degrees, and it is time for these guys to be uncovered. So I'm going to go ahead and get that done, and then I'll show you what things are looking like underneath. Okay, they're all officially uncovered. That took maybe 3-4 minutes, not too bad. Originally, when Tyler and I covered these yesterday, I had just gotten this row cover in, and it comes in just a giant roll. So we had to cut it and fit it to size and get it all in place, and it took quite a while. It probably took an hour to an hour and a half to get it all set and done and everything. I don't think it's going to be that big of a deal from here on out. I think uncovering it is going to be much simpler than covering it up. But I don't know. We'll see. I'll be solo tonight because Tyler's at the fire station. So I'll have to come out and uncover it, or cover it back up myself. So we'll see how that goes. So, fun story. When I came out here and planted these, actually didn't have my row cover in yet. But all of the ranunculus needed to go on the ground because they were I felt like they were getting to that point where they had outgrown the space that I had them in that pre-sprouting little tray. They needed to go on the ground. I felt like if they didn't go on the ground soon, it was going to be kind of detrimental to them. So I went ahead and made the decision to come out here and plant them. I mulched them with a really, really thick layer of straw, you can see there. And I thought that I had enough sheets that I could just throw sheets over this and make do until my row cover came in. Well, I got them planted. I mulched them really heavily, went and got all my sheets and started to cover them, and realized I didn't have nearly enough sheets to cover all of this bed space I had. The first night they were out here, it was forecasted to get into the mid-30s, which everything that I've been told and everything I've read about ranunculus is they can actually tolerate mid-20s. Ideally, in my mind, you don't really want to push that, you know? I mean, why take that risk? However, it was forecasted to get into the mid-30s, and I thought, oh, it'll be fine. I'll mulch them really heavily. I'll put the sheets over them, and we'll be good to go till my row cover comes in. Well, I didn't have enough sheets, and it ended up getting into the 20s that night. And so I woke up the next morning, and it was like, I don't know, 26, 27 degrees outside. And it was just like this moment of panic, like, oh my goodness, I just spent all of this money and all of this time on these ranunculus. And the first night they're out there, they're probably all dead now. But I came out and they were in fact okay. I do think I had a little bit of damage on some of them. I'll show you. I'll try to find some that will, like, the leaves have maybe a little bit of damage from being too cold. But other than that, everything looks good. So let me show you. So check them out. That right there is a little baby ranuncula. That one there is as well. And these guys have grown. I can already tell these guys have grown quite a bit. So yeah, they're looking really good. I planted these. There's 3 rows in each bed. The 3 rows are, I think they were 10 inches apart. So I've got a row in the middle and then 10 inches on this side and 10 inches on this side. I did plant them 8 inches together in the rows, which is a little close. I'm told you can plant 10 to 8 inches apart. And I went on the little closer side because I don't have as much bed space as I want, and I had quite a few ranunculus.
Here, Mom.
Oh, thank you. What you doing there?
There's stuff in there.
Oh, thanks. Cool. Okay.
There's sand in here.
Yeah. All of this variety is 4 beds of them. All of this variety is a white variety. Sad story is I am pre-sprouting a purple variety in the house right now for a second round that I was going to put over here once all of this came out. However, I checked them last night, and it looked like a ton of them have actually rotted. And quite honestly, it's my own fault. When I pre-sprouted these guys out here, I took the time to make sure they were in a really cool environment. I put them in our closet, which is our safe room, which is surrounded by cinder blocks. So it stays a little bit cooler anyways in the house than the rest of the house. Kept the door shut, kept the light off, took the time to really make sure that they, had the right environment. And then with the second round, I got them all ready, and I left them in our kitchen. Not really out of laziness. I mean, I could have moved them to the closet, but I just thought that they would be okay in the kitchen because this first round worked out so well. I thought it would be fine. And that is not the case. It stays about 68 degrees in our house. They were getting a lot of light, and anyways, quite a few of them rotted. I went through, pulled out all the rotten ones last night, and I'm trying to salvage what I have left. But that's just kind of the name of the game. Here's these guys here. They look really good. Okay, so here's one of the ones that really kind of suffered that first night. I'm gonna see if I can bring you down here and show you a little closer. So you see that? How the tip of that one has kind of, it's trying to fall off there. I think that is from,
I'm digging a hole.
Cool. I think that is from it getting too cold the first night. However, this here is all promising because this is all new growth since that first night. So I think, that just fell off. So I think that it'll be okay. But I did have several that looked like that. So I just know better for next time. Don't risk that and keep these guys covered. Sweet peas are all along this trellis on either side, and they look really good. Here in the next few days or so, I'm going to come in, I'm going to pinch these guys. If you don't know what pinching is, it's basically just pruning. And all it means is you'll, leave a set or two of true leaves on your plant. And then right above maybe the second or third set of true leaves, you'll come in and you'll literally just pinch that main stem off or that main stalk off. And all that does is encourages new growth. You'll get more blooms that way. You'll get a stronger plant that way. So instead of just continuing to grow straight up, then it'll start to branch off where that new growth will grow. You can't do that with every single plant. So make sure that you know what you're doing in terms of make sure you know that it's okay to pinch whatever plant that you're trying to pinch. Sweet peas should be pinched. Same with like zinnias, they should be pinched. So yeah, I'm not a professional on that, so I couldn't tell you about all the different varieties that need to be pinched and that don't. But sweet peas are one that you should pinch, and I need to come in and do that pretty soon. This all along here, where you see this straw, this is all garlic. Same on this side, that's all garlic. It comes all the way down. And then here on this side, I planted about 400 to 500 tulip bulbs. They didn't go nearly as far as I thought they would go. I did a video about it if you want to watch. But I planted them really, really close together because I do plan to harvest them for hopefully selling. But yeah, they just didn't go as far as I thought they would. And check out these cabbages. Oh, there's a grasshopper. I need them to go away. They look so dang good. I have never actually successfully grown a cabbage. Mainly because I generally, once summertime ends, I generally am done with the garden. I'm tired. I don't want to mess with it. And I won't even attempt to do a fall garden, or if I do, it's just a pretty pathetic attempt. So a lot of times the pests end up eating whatever I put out. This year, however, I put a lot of time and effort into having a successful fall garden, and it is really paying off. And then collards. We've been eating so many collards. They're about done. We're going to harvest the rest of these pretty soon. I've sold a few. We've eaten a lot. But then I'll come back in, get these up, amend this bed, and then these will also be for flowers. And check out this. It looks so good. These guys have struggled a little bit. We've had some of the cooler nights, and I feel like they have struggled just a little bit, but they're still holding on, doing well. I got Brussels sprouts down here.
Mom, look what I found.
Oh, awesome, dude. Let's see. I've got little tiny baby Brussels sprouts. You see those? See those little guys in there? Oh, hold on. Get out of the way, leaf. See that right there? That's a tiny Brussels sprout. That's a tiny Brussels sprout. So if these guys will just keep on keeping on, we'll have a few Brussels sprouts. And then we have Bok Choy, which has been a lot of fun. This was just for us. We've eaten quite a bit of it. And then, of course, we've just got the 3 left. But that's been really good. If you've not ever grown it, I would recommend it. It tastes really good. It tastes a lot like cabbage. Obviously, it is like a Chinese cabbage, but it's really good. Same thing with this chard. I had never eaten chard, never grown chard, did not know anything about chard. Bought these little plant starts at a local nursery, and it is so good. Chard is good. I will always and forever grow chard from now on. I've been cooking it a lot in eggs. I'll scramble up some eggs and saute some chard with it, and it's really good. It just has a really good flavor, a little kind of unique a little bit. Okay, y'all, and that is the outdoor fall garden. So we have all ranunculus over here. We have sweet peas, garlic, and tulips, and then all of our vegetables over here that will hopefully be finishing up fairly soon, and then that will be filled with flowers. I do have some straw flower. I've got yarrow. I tried to start some lisianthus, and it has been, gosh, almost 20 days since I started those seeds, and I've got 0 germination. So I'm not sure what I've done wrong, but I don't know that the lisianthus will work out. But I really did want to put some in this garden as well and just fill this whole space with flowers for the springtime, and then throughout the summer. I just thought that would be so pretty right behind the house. And then, of course, right behind me is the greenhouse, which really needs to be cleaned out. But it would just be so pretty just to have all flowers in there, and then also to be able to make a profit off of them. Hey, you want to walk to the tunnel with me? Yeah?
Put my wheelbarrow in there.
Your wheelbarrow? What's a wheelbarrow?
My tractor. And my skipper.
Okay, come on. Oh, uh-oh.
It's too oh.
Well, you kind of have it in a hole.
What?
You got it in a little bit of a hole there.
Oh.
You want to just leave it and we'll come back and get it in a minute?
No.
It's kind of a long walk.
No.
Okay. Hey,
What?
what did we go do this morning?
I don't know.
You don't know? Where did we go this morning? He's on a mission. Tucker and I went to go check on baby brother this morning. Tyler couldn't get off work, so I had to FaceTime him during the appointment. But we are officially at that halfway mark. And what's crazy to think is that we may actually be over halfway, because both of my boys, Knox and Tuck, came a little bit early, 2 to 3 weeks early. So if history repeats itself, we're gonna be over halfway at this point. What, baby? Oh yeah, you're fast. But everything looked good, looked healthy. We still don't have a name, so we'll see how that goes. Need to come out here and roll up the sides of the tunnel and open the doors as well. Uncover all these guys. Let them get a little bit of air, fresh air. Let them breathe a little bit. Before I show you the tunnel, let me tell you not to expect too much. We are just now, it is, well, tomorrow's November 24th. It's my birthday. So today is November 23rd. I should be much further along. The plan was to be much further along and have this whole tunnel full of leafy greens, root vegetables, that sort of thing by this time. However, because I was so sick the first trimester and a little bit after the first trimester, pretty much everything in the tunnel and in the outdoor garden kind of came to a halt, just because I couldn't do it. I just felt awful. And really that final, or that first push to get things going for the fall garden is in the hottest part of the summer, like when the summer's ending and it's just so hot outside. So anyways, I just couldn't do it. So we're really late on this tunnel and this fall garden. The good news is, because I have the tunnel, I can continue to grow throughout the winter. So I have the rest of the winter to get this going and to get it right. But that's my little preface before I turn you around and show you here. Things are really just getting started here. And hopefully in the next month or two, we should really have a nice full green high tunnel. Okay, here she is in all her glory. I do have one really luscious green spot right here. This is all radish that actually I'm going to harvest either today. I may give them a couple more days to see if I can get them just a little bit bigger. But they're pretty much just about ready. And I'll go ahead and pull those up pretty soon. But what you're seeing here on this far side is a little unfortunate. This is all spinach all the way down. So about, gosh, it looks like about 3/4 of this bed was supposed to be spinach. Actually, the full bed was supposed to be spinach. I direct sowed all of these seeds. I got really patchy germination, really disappointing. What did germinate is doing well. I've actually harvested once off of this and it did really well and I got quite a bit. But obviously if I had had a full bed of spinach, I would have harvested a whole lot more than this. So I have since started spinach seeds indoors. Those guys are waiting, and what I'll do here is when they get ready, I'll come in and I'll just transplant spinach seedlings. But yeah, the direct seeding of the spinach was really disappointing. But you know, live and learn. Down here was, oh, that door just hit me. Here are what was supposed to be radish and beets. They were really old seeds that obviously did not germinate well. All of these radishes here are new seeds. They were all direct sown. They did wonderfully. Really pleased with that. I'll continue to do that. These are a mixture of the Easter egg radish and then I think it's called watermelon radish that I got both of them from Johnny's. Down here you're seeing lettuce. Same situation. I direct sowed this, so that's why you see some patchy spots here where seeds didn't germinate for some reason. Unfortunately, that's just what you get when you try to direct sow. So I did the same thing. I started lettuce seedlings indoors, and I'm just going to do succession sowing of lettuce seedlings. So yeah, that was a little disappointing. Carrots here. If anybody has any tips on carrot growth and germination, give them to me now. What I have seems to be doing okay, but it just feels like they are taking forever to grow, which I know is partly that's just the characteristic of carrots, but I feel like this is taking even longer than typical. So I don't know. If you have tips on carrots, give them to me because I need them. I've not ever grown a lot of carrot. Down here, these guys are all of my lettuce seedlings that I started indoors and I just recently transplanted out. There are a few that look kind of sad because the same situation happened.
Mom, I just want to roll these up.
Okay, just a minute. Same situation happened in here that happened out there with the ranunculus. I forgot to close the sides and the doors of the tunnel the night that it got down into the 20s. And some of these lettuces were not happy about it. Same with these kales. Some of them were not real happy with me. But I think for the most part, we're going to be okay. So these are all kale. This is called a celebration kale mix that I got from Johnny Seeds. Same thing with this lettuce. This is called 5-star lettuce mix that I also got from Johnny Seeds. I think I am actually today. See here, you can see these guys were real sad about that 20-degree night. But I think they'll be okay. You see I still have some new growth right here. So I think they'll be okay, but that was a little disappointing. I was a little disappointed in myself for forgetting to come and shut the tunnel up. But anyways, I'm also noticing in here that I'm having something come in and they're kind of nibbling here and there on some of the kales and some of the lettuces. I don't know. My best guess is it's going to be rabbits because we have quite a few rabbits out here. So I'm probably going to come in and go ahead and cover this with insect netting today to try to keep them out. Down here, I just sowed this a few days ago. with radish. So this should be another little succession of radish. You can see some are already starting to pop up here. See these little guys are trying to pop up. So one of the things that I feel like I'm struggling with a little bit let me back up. There's a lot of things I'm struggling with in the tunnel, but we'll get there. It'll just take time. But one of the things that I am struggling with right now, we're kind of pivoting or attempting to pivot. We've talked to a couple of restaurants. We have some meetings with some restaurants in town that potentially want to buy from us because selling direct to customer is hard. In a farmer's market setting, it's I don't know that I would say it's easy, but it's easier than what I'm experiencing right now, because I don't have a farmer's market I can sell at right now because we're kind of in the off season for farmer's markets. So I'm trying to just basically find customers to just sell to, and that's been really difficult. It's been really hit or miss. I'm not making really any money really right now. On that same note though, I don't have a lot to offer right now because I was really, with the morning sickness and all that, I was out for quite a while. Nothing was happening. So I'm kind of in this season right now where I'm not producing a lot, but when I do produce stuff, I'm having a hard time getting rid of it, trying to sell it direct to customers. So we're really starting to look into selling wholesale, selling to restaurants. So that being said, that puts a lot of, I already feel like it puts a lot of pressure on me. I'm like, oh my gosh, if we start selling to restaurants, it'll be a game changer if we have somebody who wants our produce on a regular basis, but it's also a little bit of a stressor because it's going to be someone or some company that's going to expect to have a product weekly or bi-weekly or whatever the case may be, and they're going to expect to have a certain amount of it on top of that. So that's a little stressful, but at the same time, I feel like, we've tried direct to customer, and not that direct to customer is not the way to go. It's hard for us right now because of our young children, and we both have jobs outside of this. It's hard. It's hard. We can't be consistent providing direct to customer in that way, where I feel like we could be more consistent providing to a restaurant if we're able to produce what we say we can produce, which is a little scary. But that's kind of where we're at right now in terms of the tunnel and the produce side of things versus the flower side of things. It's funny. Flowers, I don't feel like I'm going to have a hard time getting rid of direct to customer. I also don't feel like I would have a hard time getting rid of wholesale as well. Flowers are just, I don't know, just this crazy market that I didn't even realize was really a thing until I started selling bouquets of zinnias and basil. That was pretty much all that were in my bouquets, and people were just buying them left and right. I mean, when we would go to the farmer's market, that was the first thing that would sell out were the flowers. And it was so funny because I didn't put that much effort into them. It was just kind of one of those things that I would bring just to have something on the table to look nice and to fill the table, where my produce is where I was putting my heart and soul, and that was the last thing to go a lot of times. So anyways, that's where we're at right now, trying to figure out the best way to make a profit off of our produce, working to try to fill the tunnel right now, which we'll get there. I'm just behind, but we'll get there. And I mean, it's only November, but we're already starting to think about the upcoming spring season and summer season, and I got to start thinking about the plant sale that I do every year. That's a pretty big profit for us, so that's an important thing, which, funny enough, my due date is technically April 15th, which is about the time of the plant sale. That actually may be the weekend of the plant sale. I don't know yet. But we will be there. Even if I'm in labor in the hospital, somebody will be there to represent us for the plant sale, because that is such a huge that's huge for us. That brings us in some decent revenue that helps us fund what we're doing throughout the spring and the summer season. So we'll be there, but we're starting to think about that as well. So yeah, that's where we're at right now. Some things are going really well. Some things are not going so great. We're just going to keep on keeping on because we're enjoying what we're doing. And so far it's working for the most part. Some things aren't working, but most things are working. We have got some other things. I'm not sure what he's doing. What are you doing? What are you doing? You?
Me?
Yeah.
Why are you looking at me?
We were just seeing what you were doing.
You're not looking at me.
Oh, not looking at you? Okay. We got other things don't push on that. We got other things we got to do around here. So we're going to let y'all go and we'll see you next time. Bye.